Everyone's still here? That wasn't at 2 AM, that was the internet didn't just, well, it went off, but completely off, and didn't come back on like it normally does after a few seconds. That was a good 12 minutes of down, but it was exactly 15 minutes it was off for, so I've got a feeling that that was some sort of scheduled thing. The 1 AM, okay. Oh, by the way, guys, I've launched 8 rockets while I was away. Just to bring you up to speed on the situation. Okay. As the outpost tidied up, and it is still going strong, but it's struggling. By the way, there's an iron shortage, pretty bad one, up at the base. So I'm just doing a quick tour of the iron facilities to see how they're doing. I don't think there's much iron left. I'm going to check Reddit quickly while we're on a train journey, see what's the crack with that. How many oil fields supply 0.1 a second are required to keep a pipe flowing at full capacity? That sounds like a question for Mad. But Mad doesn't do Reddit anymore, so we won't go there. Yeah, it's already been covered. We'll leave them to it. We'll let Reddit be Reddit. If you pick the slowest checkout, you need to study them a little bit more. So I work in a supermarket, so I can tell you which line to go to, and I will generally be right about 95% of the time. Oh, bother. It's all about weighing up various factors. How much shopping has each person got? How fast does the person serving? That's often a key one. How alert is the person that's the other people ahead of you? Are they concentrating on what they're doing?
G'day, mate.
Good, good day.
G'day, g'day.
Good day. Did I get that
Something.
right? Lagging around lagging around the network at the moment.
Oh, nice.
Rabid Monkey Live, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, and on a tour of the iron outposts, and I have no idea where my train is going. Oh, it's going that way. Okay. Whatever.
How's the plastic build going?
Yeah, it was going well. I nipped back to the base to get some more supplies. My internet died for 15 minutes. Exactly 15 minutes.
Interesting.
Exactly midnight to 12:45, it was dead. So I'm thinking that's a scheduled thing that they neglected to tell me about. Yeah. I mean, all it takes is just send me a message. How hard is that?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, half midnight. Most people would look at it, whatever, I'm asleep, and I'll be like, well, alright then, I'll just wait for that to happen, then I'll start streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. How hard is it?
Have you still been getting the 2 a.m.?
No, I yesterday my 5-hour stream was one complete block on the Twitch VODs. The longest stream I think I've had for a very long time in one unbroken chunk.
Nice.
That's day 1 and 2 actually. The Mega Challenge are now on YouTube as well. So you did some of that sleep stuff that people talk about. How was that?
Yeah. It was good. I kind of fell asleep in my chair after I was filing last night in my world, and then I woke up this morning and I was dead. Obviously, Biders got to me. So that's good.
That's bad.
Yeah, really bad.
You didn't leave it the foul on cruise, did you? And you just cruised into a biter base while asleep at the wheel.
I'm not really sure what happened, but it's all right. Just go to the last autosave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the mega base is breaking big time under the strain of all these rockets. So I'm up to 531 now, and it was at 470. So I've done 60 rockets in 3 streams.
That's what, sort of 4 or 5 hour streams usually. Oh god, phone.
You have the same alarm as my flatmate. It's about the only one that
like
wakes
50
him up.
alarms. Yeah, the most loud and obnoxious thing I can find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find it doesn't work after a while? And you have to switch it?
Oh no, literally, if I have to get up at 10 a.m. from 9:30 till 10 o'clock, I have about 15 alarms, about one every 2 minutes.
And you turn them all off except for the last one, and then you actually take note of it. It's not a bad idea. No, anti-elite's problem. I could record the footage, but uploading it would be a pain. Because at the moment I can put it onto YouTube without uploading it. Twitch does it for me, because I can upload from the VOD.
It's pretty cool.
Right, they call it exporting. I just export it. Because to try and upload the footage, I dread to think what, because he's quite right, I could record in a higher quality. But how big would a
Yeah,
500,
that would take some
a
time.
5-hour 720p video at 30 FPS take to upload on 0.7? It's going to be leaving the computer on while I'm at work all day, and I think YouTube's quite
Even
stressy. And if the internet drops, it's not like a Steam download where you can just pause and carry on. If it burps halfway through, boom, that's it, gone.
Yeah, it just goes, sorry, bad luck.
Yeah, I've seen even NerdCube's had trouble with that, and other really big YouTubers.
Yeah. Even those small videos that I made to when I was showing you the Hall of Fame and the tutorial and stuff for that, they're like 200 meg each. Those videos, and they're only about 5 minutes long.
Yeah,
They are sort of high quality though, but
yeah. So I just export from Twitch. And I think actually I had 7 people have watched each of the day 1 and 2 so far. Let's see how many have watched the 28 have watched day 1 on YouTube. Day 2 is not out on YouTube yet.
I don't think I've got you followed or subscribed on YouTube actually.
There's a command for it on Nightbot for the link. Exclamation mark YouTube, I think.
There we are.
See, there's a command for everything.
There we go.
There's some old, really bad streams on there.
Four months ago. Let's go right back to the beginning of time.
Oh God, don't. The audio is bad, the video's awful.
A new base. That's some interesting stuff on here. I'm back in the Hall of Fame save, working away on this thing.
Alright.
Hang on, what's going on there?
What's going on? What? Where?
Well, I don't think I've seen this part of your world. Why is the main line broken for that station?
Oh, because the station was here first.
Oh, okay. I was just like, that's a really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, the main line came from the north, east, and we hit an iron patch. So I plonked a station down on the end of the main line, thinking, right, well, we'll get the outpost out of the way, and then the line can continue. But what actually happened was the main line, all the way from the end of the mega shed, was created in one day, and that plan was eventually to link up with it, and it ended up coming from the southeast to meet it from the other direction, and of course the outpost is still here. So yeah, it's just waiting for the outpost to get out of the way now, because it does look rather silly.
Okay, fair enough. I'll allow it.
And there's this bodged line that allows trains to go through. But yeah, as soon as that, I know it's bad, but it's gonna be so good, and it's gonna feel so great to rip that all out and put it how it's supposed to
Put
be.
in the
Yeah,
proper.
yeah.
Yep.
Everybody's OCD is just gonna go. I've even left additional concrete there just to neaten it up and finish it off. Good night, Coco. Take care, buddy.
That's not a bad idea, Max. Um, just not sure how I would get it to not swap objects on equal keys. That's actually something I hadn't really accounted for. Damn it. More work for Zedith.
I will not be held responsible for this one.
You will. It's all your fault.
God damn it. Alright. No, I'm going to wipe my hands over anything Hall of Fame related, and I'll tell you why. I was quite happy building my little belts, and you came along.
Oh, here we go.
You came
Here we
along
go.
and was like,
Turn it up.
hey, I got an idea for you. I could build a light display thing that will be digital, and you won't have to rip up the belts. I didn't ask you to build it. You said, hey, I can build that.
Yeah, and then I
You-
vaguely remember. Oh my God, Zedith, that's awesome. Yes, keep building that, and we also want a sorting system, and we also want this. And oh, can you make it do that?
Yes, but who had the original idea?
Yeah. You actually should have seen the early prototypes. I didn't really know how to use combinators, and so I didn't have a binary decoder in there, and it was literally each letter was going to run off sort of actually programming each individual letter, and then there'd be a wire that ran from that letter to each cell. So one display had 20 wires going to it, which of course meant that you needed 10 power poles for each display. So it was literally just this forest of power poles everywhere scattered, and it was just, yeah. Yeah, that's basically it, Max. I'll have two inputs, or two wires that come across with the two values, and then they'll be compared, and the higher value will go one way, and the lower value the other way. I think I sent you the very first version of the binary decoder, Zuri.
I think this outpost that I'm ripping up is possibly, I might be wrong, but the oldest one at the moment. It's been around for a very long time. This is, or was, Copper Mega 2. The definition of a mega outpost is one that has two loading stations, and if I recall, this one had 4 copper patches feeding into it.
Ooh. If they're decent RSO ones too, it's huge.
Yeah, it had a something silly rebalancer to control the flow and that, and even when the patches were finished, both loading stations were still full, so the trains have been running here for quite some time. Even though the mining drills are all long gone, but now there's no copper left, so it's going to be a box of stone left behind. Because I can't carry it.
It's funny you say that, Max. From what I understand, they are. I was actually speaking to someone the other day who is building a full computer in Factorio. But I mean, even as T.S. Bennett's saying, his sorting systems are sort of basically a computer. The Hall of Fame is a small computer, etc. So, but I think this guy's really going for it and building this massive thing with heaps of memory and all sorts of stuff. So, that's pretty cool.
But can the computer in Factorio play Factorio?
It can launch Skynet. No, that would actually be really cool. Did you see one of the guys on the forums, Dave? I can't remember his
Oh,
username, but
yeah,
that guy.
I know the name.
He made I think it's a Game of Life. Have you played that?
No.
It's like there's all these squares and you can't touch the adjacent square or something. It's this like sort of mini puzzle game, but he made that in Factorio with combinators.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Isn't Dave the guy that did the one rocket defense a minute
Yes.
base? Yeah. He's also the blueprint string author, I believe.
Yeah, he knows his stuff.
Mm. Oh. My brain is not functioning. There we go. But it got excited when we were doing our concreting, and she branched off down this side track a little bit, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's an outpost, we don't concrete outposts.
Why not? That's what I did in my vanilla world.
Yeah, but my outposts don't last long enough.
Yeah, I severely regretted that decision. I did one of them, I was like, that looks cool. So I did another one, and then it was sort of too late to go back, and I had to do them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I've made that commitment, and not any non-permanent facility doesn't get concreted.
Yeah.
Which does mean that the oil outpost will be. I might subcontract that job out though. I'll just build them, that'll be enough. Hell, I might even try and subcontract the building. My opinion of Dave has just gone down. He's a loop based, so he's 4 out of 10. That was as soon as I got the rocket defense save. You know, he put it on Reddit. I downloaded it and I loaded it up, and I'm like 4 out of 10. I appreciate that this is one rocket defense a minute, which is like never been done. It's a one of a kind, but I can only give it 4 out of 10.
I have to say though, at the same time, that like I downloaded that and everything was done in such a way that was just so unnecessary and inefficient, I guess would be the right word.
Really, I didn't even look around it that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't even switch it on.
As soon as I saw like loading into cars and stuff, I was like, nope, I'm out.
Over-engineered.
Yeah, thank you, Siri. That's appropriate.
Yeah, you can automate car transport. I've seen it done. They used a train to release them on the belts. It's on YouTube somewhere. It worked, but it was unreliable. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, when we get power switches, I thought of, when I was launching rockets earlier, I thought of a possible combinator build using power switches.
Yeah.
Whenever I put beacons along the silos to make them go faster, I run out of resources because I don't have enough, and then I don't need the beacons, and it's a waste of electricity. And then when it's all buffer stored, it's the other way around. I need the beacons. Could it be done to make some sort of build that it would tell the power switch that only ran the beacons, whether the silos had a rocket in them or not, or were done, and therefore, if they weren't done, activate the power switch, beacons power the silos. As soon as it's done, they switch off again.
You could do it where you would have. Yeah, because you could. That's done by reading. You'd use a smart inserter to insert the satellite.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have the satellite go into like a chest beforehand, before the inserter, and it would read the input off that, basically. And then you could have like a reset. Yeah, I think it would be possible.
We'll have to wait for version
But
13, really, don't we? To see, we need these
Yeah,
these switches.
Yeah, I need to see how they work.
Mhm.
I know they can be connected to the circuit network, but one thing I'm really hoping that you can do is actually read the levels of power. So you could say, if my base gets down to 1 gigawatt of power or less in the accumulators,
Mhm.
then activate this or that or something else. So
Yeah, flick this switch, which shuts off
yeah,
half the base or something, or your whole rocket silo powering, manufacturing could be shut down, but lasers and stuff stay on.
yeah,
It's going to bring a whole new thing to the power network, isn't it? Rather than just connect everything to everything.
yeah.
Yes,
It's going to be quite interesting.
I'm going to have to go on a full electricity review because I want to be able to switch anything I want on and off.
Yeah, one thing I'm really pushing for, or would love to see, is the wireless combinators.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even if, look, for all I care, make them, require a lot of power, or
Mhm.
more power the longer they transmit a signal or something.
Yeah, some sort.
But
Yeah, or like a new
there's
building
gonna
or
be some
something, like a
signals to it,
beacon
but
type thing, but a transmitter
yeah,
that come in pairs or something. Like an underground
yeah,
belt, you'd place one and then you place the other, and they connect to each other.
mm,
Because then you could wire off of them, couldn't you? If you connect
yeah.
A to A, and then you can run a green
Oh,
wire from one
you,
chest.
yeah,
So
you'd probably have just them set to a specific frequency,
Mhm.
and you'd go transmit on frequency 10 or whatever, and then listen on frequency 10.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, just that way, like then you don't have to run a wire down a main line.
Mhm.
And if you want to control multiple things from different areas, you know, you'd then have to have sort of different wires running down the main line. You can only have two. There's a lot of issues with it, so wireless combinators, good stuff. Is the
Yeah.
bottom line.
Yeah, a wireless thing would become part of an outpost blueprint, really, wouldn't it? So you could wire it up,
Yeah.
and it'd probably tell you back at the base. Then, if you use smart chest, it could tell you how much copper was it, copper 2 or something, in the station.
I would have just this whole thing set up where I'd be able to read the ore throughput of outposts and everything straight from my main base.
You'd
I
never
would
leave
set
your
up
main base, would you?
just this, yeah. I'd just sit there with this display, and I could cycle through it and go, what's happening at copper 5?
Hmm. Yeah. And then somebody asks, where is copper 5? I have no idea, but it's doing okay.
Hang on, I'll just bring up the map on this display.
Yeah.
I solved my RSO oil shortage.
Hmm. Well done. How many pump jacks you got on the network?
That's a good question. Let's have a look. 47 already. Not bad for 48 hours in.
Beaconed or just individually moduled?
Going through and beaconing all of them at the moment. There's probably 15 or so that are beaconed.
Yeah. I've got 130 on the power network.
They're all beaconed and whatnot, though, aren't they?
No. There's 24 beacons out there somewhere. Probably anywhere where a beacon covers 2 or more pump jacks, yeah. Yeah, beacon power is expensive.
Zuri, we need to convert him to the dark side.
Nope. I should probably check on my coal supplies.
Oh man.
Oh, don't tell Kay, but I've lost a PAX train. I have no, I have no idea where it is.
It's just off somewhere.
Yeah, he's off having an adventure. I haven't seen my resupply train for some time. Every time I'm here at the base, the supply train isn't here.
Yeah, it sucks when you lose trains.
Mhm. But I do like it when new players are building their first rail network and then they lose a train, and I'm like, congratulations, your rail network's not big enough to lose a train in it. And they're like, yeah, I have no idea where it is. I can't find it.
On my vanilla save, I lost my my death train, my concrete train, which has like 500,000 concrete in it.
Yeah.
And I'd created another reason loops are bad. I'd created this really long loop that went around where my sort of main factory was going to go, and I thought I'd completely disconnected it from the network. So of course I never looked there.
Mhm.
And honestly, I could not work it out. I thought the game had bugged out and just deleted my train. So I was like, whatever, it's gone. So I went ahead and mined all this other stone and eventually found it.
If you would use solid fuel to power the oil beacons, it comes out to a 4 times increase in oil, costing 10% of the increase to power it. Huh? What?
Yeah, that just broke my brain.
And you've been asleep and that I haven't done the sleepy thing you.
No, but see, that's the thing. I'm still half asleep.
I think he's saying it will generate more oil than the extra oil that it will make converted to solid fuel and burned
And then used for power.
and then used for power will give you 10% more oil than you get now. Is that what you're saying? It's gonna be like no.
Like, nope, you're wrong. Sit down.
No. That's not what he meant.
Some days you just must be like, these guys are just so slow.
Yeah, I've been at work and stuff.
Yeah, we try.
I'm going into 2 days off now, so it's hopefully I can play some
Lucky.
Factorio where I'm not like half dead.
Aha. Well, that makes more sense, Dragon. If that's correct.
How much power does a beacon speed module thing take or use?
Hang on, I'll grab a look.
I can probably work it out actually, I'm on a train journey. A beacon takes 480 and a speed module adds 70%, so that'll be 140%. He makes, if that's, you know, that's possibly a compelling argument.
Yeah. Question: do you have any wires running down your main line at all?
Only connecting the quarry and the mega base, which I think you've seen me do the other week.
Yeah. Okay.
And I did that by hand because it wasn't that far.
Yeah.
I was trying to get smart trains to work and I couldn't figure it out, so I just abandoned it. What I wanted it to do was, if the mega base logistics system dropped below X number of bricks, I wanted this train to turn on, deliver bricks. If it still wasn't above its limit, it would go back and get more and just run. As soon as it was above, it would go back home and stay there again until it activated. But apparently it doesn't work how I wanted it to, so...
Okay.
Or it does and I don't know how to set that up.
Because I was going to prototype the thing I was going to make for you, where you could request anything from anywhere.
Hmm.
But that will require you to run a wire, obviously, to wherever you want stuff to be. But apparently you can do that in file now.
Yeah, but it's too late for it. All the line is already made.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
Fowl you
hoping
can.
that they'd...
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Fowl can. You can tell it to when it places the power poles. You can have it connect the power poles with green and or red wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not for already done mainline, and there's far too much mainline.
I'm hoping that in version 13, we've seen the new rail mechanics, or the rail laying mechanics. If they had something similar for connecting wires, so that you just connect wire A and then, at point A, and then say I want it to connect here at point B, and it just sort of works it out for you.
Mm-hmm. Simitrans has something like that. When you place your track, and then as the game progresses, you get electric third rail attachment, and then later overhead wire. And upgrading it, you can click and drag over the track, but if you hold control, click a piece of track, hold it, hold control, click another one, it'll just join them up. So if you've got a simple end-to-end line, it's easy. You just click one end, click the other, bang, it's done, and you're £2 million lighter.
Simutrans is it's very much like OpenTTD, isn't it?
Yeah, it's copy. It's not. Well, it's not copy. OpenTTD is people that played Transport Tycoon, but they weren't happy with it, so they made their own game. There were people that weren't happy with OpenTTD, so they made Simutrans.
Okay.
It goes into much more realism and detail, but its progress is... I played the experimental build, because that's even more than the standard. The experimental people broke off from the standard.
Oh god.
Because it
So
wasn't
everyone's
enough
just
for
got their
them.
own little branch.
Yeah. The experimental people were like, no, we want more, and I was like, yeah, I want more. It goes into some crazy detail. Weight of the trains is factored in with the braking and everything like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, everything has rolling resistance and... You get penalised per minute for the longer the journey time takes. To the point at which if it takes too long, you have to give them a refund, and they go back where they came from.
Is it multiplayer?
Yeah.
Because I mean, one of the things I love in Factorio most is the trains, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never found a game that mimics that in a good way. Although I haven't really played Simutrans or OpenTTD, so...
Mm-hmm. I have a good 1,500 hours in Simutrans. It was my primary addiction game before Factorio took over.
Yeah.
But if you can do Simutrans train signals, which I can, your Factorio signals are just a walk in the park. Which is why I jumped straight to them and had no trouble at all with them. And before we had chain signals, it was so easy because what Factorio normal signal is just a normal signal in Simutrans. So working with just them, it's like, yeah, this is easy.
Yeah.
And then I'll try and do stuff in Factorio that I did in Simutrans, and I'm like, I can't do this without what they would call a pre-signal. We call it a chain signal these days here, but yeah.
Because we don't really need any other signals. I think it's
I would argue I want
we can.
platform choose signals.
What does that one do?
um, where you would come out of a stacker in Factorio, and then go to either platform A or B, you put a platform choose signal there, and that will, as soon as a platform is available, it will direct a train to it.
Okay.
We sort of do it with chain signals now, but they have multiple routes and their path to an open one, but the platform choose signal, you could exclude platforms. So you could say, like, of these 10, I want you to pick from one of the first 4.
Yeah.
But
so a little bit more control.
Yeah, if 5 is open and 1 to 4 are shut because there's trains in them, you're just going to have to wait, I'm afraid. Because I don't want you to go into 5, because if you go into 5, you then can't go where you need to go next, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Right, I've set this plastic build up with smart chests and green wire. Actually, one more time just before I should limit these boxes.
Yeah, I've been thinking of ways in which they could extend the train network in Factorio without it being something that's unnecessary or something. But I can't really think of what we really need.
Grouping trains into lines, like Smart Trains does. There's been no mention that they're doing that.
Yeah, true.
So I think even in 13 I'm still going to need Smart Trains. I think the vanilla wait for full, wait for empty will probably take over from Smart Trains.
But the grouping of the lines.
But the grouping of the trains, I can't live without that now. I'm practically committed to it. I remember the days of not having it. And if you wanted to change the iron trains, say you wanted to add a new outpost, you have to sit at the unload and wait for every train to come round and copy and paste the orders to it. Right, with Fat Controller you could cycle through and find every iron train, but grouping them into line, you change one, boom, they're all changed.
Yeah.
Where am I going to put the plastic build? I think I'll put it over here. Well away from the refineries though, so there's still room to build more refineries.
So are you going to have the rockets launching over there as well? Or are you going to have the materials being made there and then you ship you ship it elsewhere to a launching pad?
Yeah, the mega base itself will become manufacturing. By building oil up here, I can rip out the oil build in the mega base, freeing up space. Giga smelting will take over from the smelters in the mega base. They can be ripped out. The unloads or unload stations at the moment can be ripped out, redesigned, and will be plate unload. And then there's no need for smelters, thus freeing up space.
Yeah.
And then now, with the oil as well gone, there'll be no need for a rocket fuel build in the mega base because that's done at the oil. It leaves me with circuits odds and ends, science if it's needed, rocket control units, modules, forgetting something else, low density structures.
Yep.
But without a smelter and without an oil build, there's a lot more room here to build a bigger manufacturing. I'm thinking red circuits will probably take over from where the oil is.
Oh, that'll keep you busy for a while.
Now that was a big attack. I'm hoping this iron outpost can mine itself dry before it gets beaten by the biters. It's a race against time at the moment. Let's start this from the bottom.
Oh, I'm out of bloody... Constantly out of circuits. It's no good.
Yeah. And there's the only other thing that I might do is build another facility that does circuits.
Yeah, you need quite a few for the rockets,
Yeah,
obviously.
because I could. Yeah, I'll smelt the iron at the smelter site, take that to another facility where green circuits, red circuits and processing units are made. And then take the circuits to manufacturing, as well as a small amount of plate.
Yeah.
That'll add a lot more trains.
Did you ever
to the
see
line.
that there was a megabase save that someone posted on Reddit, and the idea of it was that each item could only be made at an outpost. So you'd have an outpost for making circuits, you'd have an outpost for making even down to the very basic ingredients like copper wiring and whatnot, and they'd have to be separate little outposts with trains shipping in between. And it was a really interesting idea. Of course, they completely destroyed it by using loops, but
The concept.
in theory, I think it could work. Yeah.
Kind of like split dependencies in a way, then the way they were making something and then passing it on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the joys of RSO. Need more iron. I'm enjoying it though.
Do you know what I would like them to add in the game? Do you ever play the old cities, city builder games, like SimCity 2000 and all that, and the later versions of it?
Yeah, I also recently got Cities Skylines.
Yeah, I don't know if Skylines has it. I'm assuming it does, but if you built like your power lines to the edge of the map, you could connect to the other city that wasn't actually there. It was just the edge of the map, but it simulated another city there, and you buy and sell stuff.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do is, if you built a railway line to a certain point on your map, it would go into like a portal or whatever, which should simulate like the edge of the map. And then that would connect to somebody else's, and then on multiplayer, so you'd have two people playing single player, but this little portal is multiplayer.
Yeah.
So I could send a train to your world, basically.
So yeah, on my vanilla map, you could just send me all the stone,
Yeah,
and I'll send you all the oil.
yeah, done. So it would be a case of I'll send you a 262 of stone, and you'll send me a 111 full of oil barrels.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, right, okay, what station am I sending it to? And then in the stations thing, you'd have like you'd have your list, and then there'd be another tab for the connected
list or something.
Yeah, and I'll be like, where do you want it? And you'd be like, we'll receive one or something. And, okay, on its way. Dum. Unloading. And of course, you'd have that set up to unload and put into your bot network or whatever.
Yeah.
And you could have trains running around. You could have people specialising in certain parts of the.
Well, just imagine that if a few of us got together and you'd have one guy, and like, all right, Zenith, your job is circuits, or you produce the circuits.
Yeah.
Your life is circuits, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you go to Will, and you're like, yeah, oil. Your job is oil. That's all you need. That's all you ever want.
Yeah. And then we'd end up screaming at each other, wouldn't we? I need more copper. I haven't received a copper train for 20 minutes. We are out over here. And then of course, if you're making circuits or something, and you're getting no copper from someone who's making copper.
We could, in theory, actually do that if we set up a dedicated server and had what have I done here? Yeah, set up a dedicated server and then teleported players like 1,000 units apart, or multiple thousand units apart, and then had a train line in between, and just one person makes this, and that's what they do, and then sort of have this mega base in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that stuff like that would be really, really cool. It's unfortunate that we're sort of limited by the way in which maps are shared, because downloading a map of that size would just take so long.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because the multiplayer would most of the time be dormant.
Yeah.
Because it would only send data if a train goes through the portal. And all it's got to do is send, okay, I'm sending you a 262, first wagon's got this in it, second wagon's got that in it. If I'm the sender, it just deletes the train, and on your end it creates the train.
Yeah.
And that's the
It
only.
would actually be.
Yeah, that's the only. I could probably stream that because the data would be so low.
One day I'll pay for a server somewhere in the world with really, really fast internet, and we can all multiplayer. One day when I'm not lazy.
But wouldn't I still have the same problem? Whatever I connect
Is
to.
the upload? But is your download speed that bad, or is it just your upload speed?
I'm getting about 3.5 down these days with my new setup.
Okay.
3.5 down, 0.7 up. I used to get about 2.2 down.
Yep. That's yeah. I don't know how you do it.
Never had anything better, so
Yeah, fair enough.
don't know anything else.
I got really lucky, and when I moved house to where I am now, it turns out that I'm right next to the major ISP in Australia is Telstra,
Mhm.
and I'm right next to the exchange. Like if you walk outside my house,
Mhm.
go 3 doors down, there's the exchange. So awesome internet.
Yeah. I was speaking with someone about, they said, well, if you really want it, why don't you just pay to have fibre put in yourself? And I'm like, yeah, but it's 2 grand. It's 2 grand a meter,
Is it?
apparently.
Wow.
So, and I said, yeah, but from where? And they said that the central box in my town. And I'm like, well, where's that? And they said, do you know where the theatre is in town centre? I'm like, yeah. They said, you know that little street down the side of it? I was like, you mean the one that no one ever goes down? I'm like, yeah, that one. And they were like, it's down there. And I'm like, well, that's
So you'd
about
have to
two.
pay two
It's about,
grand a meter from there.
and it's about 2 miles.
Oh, ouch.
And that's as a crow flies. I don't know what restrictions. There's schools and stuff in the way, so they'd have to probably go round, following the streets,
Yeah.
and that's why they won't. Um, and that's why the OpenReach won't touch it, because I guess it's. And I don't know how big of an area um, I'm part of, even if that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
block of flats. There's 16 of us in the block, and there's about 10 blocks here in this little thing. I don't know if that's as far as it goes, or whether it's a bit further out. Because there's a lot of places these days, like a village that wants it, would all chip in together
Yeah.
and get it themselves. Because if every flat in this thing, if we all chipped in, it wouldn't be that much between us all to have it done.
Yeah, but I mean, some people would just be happy with what they have at the moment.
Yeah.
Man, I have this huge shortage of smelting at the moment. Just came out of nowhere. I can't seem to fix it.
It's because you've probably not got an oil shortage anymore.
Yeah, actually that's true. I moduled up all the oil and everything. I've got a tank that's full of it, so it's not even unloading from the trains anymore.
Hmm.
Time to module the smelters, I think.
Oh, Root's been on adding stuff to playlist. My
What's that?
Root's added all his videos to a playlist. My Twitter's just exploded.
I've never been one for Twitter. I don't know, I just can't get into it for some reason.
I was reluctantly dragged. uh, I was dragged kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
I use it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't seem to have the sort of need for it, but each their own, of course.
Yeah, I just use it as, a way of finding stuff out, or
Yeah. Although there's one thing I do follow, and that's for a game that's coming up. And the guy only posts updates on Twitter, so... Actually, ooh, that just got its official Steam page. Coming soon. Excellent. I'm guessing you've never heard of a game called Harvest Moon?
no. That's one of those other games, isn't it?
It's a Nintendo game. It was always on Nintendo. And then I think it actually went to PlayStation for a bit, but yeah. There's a similar game coming out that I've been following for about 3 years now.
The more I look at concrete, the more I'm starting to hate those stripes.
Sorry? The concrete stripes?
Yeah. The more I look at
Yeah.
it, the more I hate it, because I see it.
But once you lay stuff on it, you won't be able to see it.
Yeah, true. Oh, I hate 30 FPS.
Do you know if there's been any talk of any optimizations coming in version 13?
No, there's none that I know of.
Hmm. I didn't think there had been, but that would be nice.
I hate to say it, but they're going to lose people if they don't fix it.
Yeah, I don't think they ever assumed that people would build on a sort of scale that some of us do. Having said that, though, we are sort of the rare. Most people would probably play sort of 1 or 2 playthroughs and go, "That was a cool game, but I'm done."
Yeah. Well, Demon's still on his first playthrough.
Yeah.
That's his
Apart
first.
from my Bob's and Ditech world, my vanilla one was my first one, basically.
Manix, thanks for the
I'm
host.
still eager to know what his special surprise is.
Do you not know?
I don't know, no.
Oh, I do.
Is it going to be good? Is it something worth waiting for?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Obviously, it's something to do with bots.
No, it's a huge
Just don't know
belt-based
what.
factory.
Is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
I don't think he knows what conveyor belt is. If you ask him what belt is, he'll tell you it's used for green science.
Yeah.
You can place it down, you know. Can you? Yeah, Bandit, he'll be streaming it on the day of Steam release. If he's ready. I think he's starting to feel the pressure now because he's been at it for 4 months and he ain't ready yet.
Is he going for 1 million bots or something?
I'm not allowed to say.
Yeah.
As far as I know, the only people that know is obviously Demon himself. He's told Brett. I know. And I think that's it. Let me just check the group. See if he might have told Mad. But I think that's as far as it goes. Screen completely obscured by bots. So he's done that already. I've seen that. 5 FPS. That was
Yeah.
that.
When he moves his central storage,
Yeah.
it all just goes to hell.
Yeah. He moved his unloading station as a final goodbye to 11:22 in the lag, and he sat there for like a 5-hour stream and played like 20 minutes of game time. We just sat there and chatted about version 12's coming out, and I said to him, like, well, just do it tomorrow when version 12's out. You'll be done in half hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're saying goodbye to version 12, to version 11. Okay, plastics build done.
Nice. What's next?
Mad reckons I need to make solid fuel out of petroleum gas. For when petroleum gas backs up, which apparently it will. Because the plastics and batteries won't use it fast enough for the light oil to keep going with solid fuel for rocket parts. For rocket fuel. So I'm thinking about having a small solid fuel petroleum thing that will kick on as like an overspill for petroleum. If petroleum fills up, then the pumps switch on and pump some petroleum into this solid fuel build.
Yeah.
And just burns 500 in one go. It drops below a certain level and it's like, right, that's it, shuts it off again. If it backs up again, send another burst, quite literally an overflow.
Yeah.
But won't be on all the time because it's bad to produce solid fuel from petroleum. I need to do a sulfur to battery, sulfuric acid, and then into battery build. The problem with batteries is I got to bring the copper. I got to bring this place copper and iron, or oh no wait, I was just about to say I could just make solid sulfuric acid here, and then move that to somewhere else. But to make sulfuric acid, I got to bring the iron plate here anyway.
So where are this? Sorry, you said that all the materials that are being produced there are going to be transferred to the mega base via trains.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the stations going to go? To the north of it.
Unloads will generally be underneath here, as well as some space between the main line and the start. And then I'll probably export from the north, because all of these builds input from the bottom and output at the top at the moment.
Okay, yep.
And so far, to drop off, I need to drop water barrels, oil barrels, and coal for this to work. The barrel ones are only 111s.
Are you going to be making batteries there?
That's what I'm debating now. Do I make the batteries here?
'Cause if you do, then you need to bring in the iron and copper as well.
Yeah. So I was then thinking, well, what if I just make sulfuric acid here and take that by barrel somewhere else, because I got to make the processing unit somewhere else, and that's going to need sulfuric acid. And then I'll take the sulfuric acid to the mega base where the copper and iron already is, and then make the batteries there. But to make sulfuric acid, I need iron plate, so I've got to bring iron plate here, unless I take the sulfur, and then that's to find the point of, there's no oil build left up here anymore. Plus sulfur's quite bulky. You get 2 sulfur in 1 second of crafting. And it takes 5 sulfur to make a sulfuric acid. Kale, thanks for the host, my friend. I don't have a cool video to play, I'm sorry. Have you seen Kale's little video that plays when someone hosts him?
I've seen his follower one, so it could be alarm.
Alright. Yeah, that's what I was just looking at, Matt. The moving sulfur is not an option, really. Oh, I'll just bring iron plate and copper here. We'll do it on one train or something. Do it on a 141. Put the iron in the middle or something, and the copper on the outside. That way it won't matter what orientation the train ends up. Alright, Matt, any good suggestions on a sulfur to sulfuric acid build? I'm assuming direct insertion. And I know the ratio is not 1:1, but it might just be easier to make it 1:1, and the sulfur plant can just sit there idle a lot of the time.
The only thing is that sulfur plants, for whatever reason, they have internal storage up to 50.
Well,
Although
it's whatever.
much of a muchness. Yeah.
It's gonna get used.
Yes, that's
Where-
my voice scale.
Whether you
No use saying my voice doesn't help, does it?
won't the sulfur plant internal backup regardless if the sulfuric stops taking?
Sorry.
however you output the sulfur, if it backs up, it's going to store 50 inside it.
Yeah,
So it's going to happen. We might as well just let it happen.
yeah. You could actually probably you could probably run two sulfuric acid chemical plants off the one sulfur plant, depending on how quick you're using the sulfuric acid.
Hmm.
Because I'm just looking at my setup at the moment.
And accounting for productivity modules in both of them, no speed beacons.
I haven't actually done that yet.
So man's got his hand calculator. I'm sure his fingers are frantically.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to those restaurants and you go up to the front, you get your bill, and there's just someone behind the counter and they just punch in like 1,000 digits into the calculator in about 3 seconds, and they come up with this magic number that's the cost for your food that night, and you're always like, not sure on that.
No, we tend to have. Everywhere has a cash register.
So we're back in the Stone Age.
Most places have an electronic till. Well, no, they're all electronic, so pretty much. Oh, I'm out of shotgun shells. I've shot a lot of rocks apparently.
Colonel Will driven me mad. Always does. He's the one that forced me to start New World and everything.
I'm sorry.
You're a bad man.
But you said you're having fun in your new world, so.
I am. It's interesting to go back to a point where, like in my vanilla world, if I wanted something, if I wanted 1,000 splitters, I had them straight away.
Mhm.
Like, if I wanted 1,000 splitters in this, nah,
Yeah. You might as well.
gotta.
Yeah. Alright, let's go and design a sulfur to sulfuric acid. I would quite like 1-to-1 or 1-to-2, sort of anything I can direct insert. No messing with sulfur belts or any nonsense like that. Kind of like what I forget who suggested it now, but doing the rocket fuel straight off the chemical plant. Because I was going to make solid fuel, put it onto a belt, take it to a rocket fuel factory, put the rocket fuel on a belt. But doing this merges the builds together.
Yeah. I'm quite interested to see how this build's going to work out. I'm actually going to do a mock-up in my world.
Can your world spare a chemical plant?
Shut up. Son of a bitch. I feel like such a pleb playing this.
It's okay. I know what it's like. When me and Brett were playing, I was doing Mega Base and she was playing her world. And we're just hanging out chatting. I think it was off camera. And she was struggling for something and I was like, I wish I could send you stuff. And I went through the whole portal thing like I said with you, and I'm like, I wish I could just send you, I could end all of your problems for you so easily right now by sending you this.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I think it was stone she was after. I'm like, I could just give you stone. I don't even want anything for it. And then when I'm doing the supply challenge on stream and that, I think it was a Sunday or something, she was playing her world, which was late game by then, and I'm in supply challenge early game thing, and I'm like, can I just have something? It had flipped, and I needed something from her base because now her base was the big mega one next to this thing, and I'm like, to help, you could probably just request everything the supply challenge asks for, and your base would just give it to you.
Yep.
And it'll be like, oh, I could win the supply challenge if I had my base. Or even Brit's base at the time would be like, yeah, sure, here you go, done.
Yeah, no waiting.
Yeah. And she said no.
Where is... Oh, I've come up with a ripper build here.
Not sure if it's going to need 2 inserters or 1. I'm going to go with 2 because
How many sulfuric acid plants will you need, do you think?
I haven't got that far yet. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I got so far. It's tileable.
Prototype.
I don't know how the petroleum will feed into it yet, but I'd imagine it'll run off a master petroleum pipe.
The only issue with that... Oh, so you'd tile it to the left.
I'll put a space between it.
Because you got the belt running that way. Or would you want it like a north-south build?
Well, I could rotate it, couldn't I?
Yeah.
If I wanted it north-south. Bandit says I got the ratio backwards. No, sulfur's the quick one, isn't it? Sulfuric acid is the... It chucks the sulfur out like nobody's business. Having said that, sulfuric acid takes 1 second and needs 5 sulfur, and I've got 2 of them. And sulfur makes in 1 second and gives 2. Which would be 2 to 1 instead of 1 to 2. But then look at... Oh, but how's productivity going to affect that? So the oil trains will be feeding barrels into assembly machines, which dump it straight into refineries. I've only been halfway. The trains will unload barrels onto a belt, which will run into the refinery. The factory, each refinery has its own factory that takes the full barrel, empties it, puts it into the refinery, and puts the empty barrel back onto another belt running the other way, and then the empty barrels go back and onto the train.
Productivity brings it from 2 to 5 to 1 to 2.08, so I'd round that to 1 to 2.
Yeah. Well, that's so close to 2, it's...
Legible.
Yeah. So it is 1 to 2 then, what I've got.
Question: if you remove some of those normal pipes and replace them with underground pipes in the build,
Yeah, but you're
won't you
looking
get
at
higher throughput
throughput is the same, but
of the fluid? Just I hate fluid mechanics in this game. They annoy the shit out of me.
I was under the impression that 10 pieces of straight pipe was the same as an underground pipe, other than entities in the
So,
game.
from that big Reddit post, the big forum post, my understanding was that one underground pipe counts as the same in terms of length and the throughput of the pipe as so one straight piece of pipe is one underground pipe as well. I don't think they cut it off and count it as 10. I don't know, Mads or E knows fluid mechanics better than I do.
You need to spin the sulfuric acid 90 degrees. Why? Doesn't say which 90 degrees, but the other one that I destroyed. Oh, well, that was just a mock build. Okay, so we all happy with this build? I like that sulfur's direct insert.
Ooh, I've got perhaps a little bit of a better one if you want to take a look.
That's why we prototype each build. It's like break the game all over again, isn't it? Doing each bit of the build, but I'm not testing it. I'm leaving room for expansion, and I'll add more as needed. Mazoe's not happy.
Yeah, see, underground pipes count as a length of 2, regardless of how long the underground part is, in terms of the throughput. Do you want me to send you a blueprint string of what I
Yeah, sure.
came up with? May not like it.
Well, Mad says it's 1 to 2. Why is Bandit saying it's backwards? 2 sulfur, 1 acid. That would be 2 to 1. that we always say it in the order that it's crafted, like or made. Like a power plant is 1 14 10, because 1 pump, 14 boilers, then 10 steam. So if Mad's saying 1 to 2, that's 1 sulfur, 2 sulfuric acid.
Yeah, but if we look at the recipes, so sulfur, each time you make sulfur, you get 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then each time you make
Yeah,
sulfuric acid, you
it takes
require
5.
5 of them.
Yeah. Okay, so it is back to front. Mad,
Yeah.
you threw me off by
Okay.
saying the numbers the other way around. I'm just going to read back. And productivity brings it from 2 to 5 to 1 to 2.08. Which, 1, I read that, do you read that, Zenith, as 1 to 2.08 as 1 sulfur, 2 sulfuric acid? Because
It's all Mad's fault.
we need, right, from now on, any ratios is done and said in the order that it's either built, laid, or crafted. A 1 14 10, a 3 to 2, yeah, 8 to 1. Oh, sorry, 1 copper wire to 8 red circuits, 1 to 8. So this is a 2 to 1. So I'll destroy this whole thing and I'll see what blueprint you've got. Or was yours the other way around as well?
No, mine was your way around, so I'm
Right.
redesigning.
We're all back to the drawing board.
I hate doing it this way.
Oh, I can't even do 2 to 1 the way I wanted to do it because of the bloody inputs for water. Not sure I like that idea. Let's see what else I can come up with. I could turn the factory that way.
This is less friendly on the piping.
Yeah, and the inserts.
Yeah. Would long arm inserters be quick enough?
I know what you're thinking. And I was going to do it that way, but I've been trying to avoid, wherever I can, red bring the sulfur closer together, but then I can't do the pipe for the water and petroleum. They have to have the space of 1.
No, I've come up with a good one.
Probably better than
I
mine.
think. Yeah, this should work. So you do it that way, and then
Yeah, I don't like this.
yeah.
I'm this is bad. This is all of the bad.
No, I've come up with a good one. Should be able to use this.
Right, I'll rip that down then. Because I don't like that at all.
Oh god, I just deleted it. Why'd you? No, there we go. Okay, blueprint string this. There we are.
me just check that's going to work. Yep. I'll send it to you in Skype. There we go.
Hmm. Yeah, it's actually not too dissimilar from what I came up with. Oh, look at you, you yellow belt.
I knew you'd pick up on that.
Well, it didn't build it, and I'm like, why isn't it built? Oh, look, it's so sweet.
That's cute, isn't it? That should work. Obviously, check it, but
Yeah. I don't think I need that pipe for the tileable bit. See you in a bit, Cal.
catch you later.
I prefer what I had before, but the ratios were broken. This
Yeah.
is not as... Oh, it's all bought.
What's wrong with it?
I can't power it with one power pole. Yes, I can. There we go. I'll put the power pole there. Still don't like it. And just to make sure there's enough inserts, I've got another one there. Right. Better just check actually the numbers on the water and all. Make sure I'm not going to need a double pipe anywhere or sulfuric
Hang on.
acid.
Are you going to need more inserters going from the sulfur plants to the actual acid plant, or is it no? You should be
No,
fine.
because it's they craft in 1 second, which would be like productivity, but the chemical plants are 1.25. They only produce 2 per craft, and the inserter will move 5 per second.
Yeah.
So the inserters will be idle. It only takes 1 iron 1 second, so 2 inserters should be should be more than enough. That's quite a lot of water for the sulfuric acid. 10 water.
What's it required?
10 water.
Yeah, that's why I
Which is twice.
separated the two
Yeah.
lines.
But that's over 3 times these pipes. But there's only half the factory, so does this water pipe need to be double or more? Yeah, for an
Yeah, so the
OCD.
second exit from the acid won't be used deep house.
Yeah, it will now because
you
of
don't-
OCD.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm using it now. As soon as he said it, I'm like, yeah, I get the point. That's a good point. I think the factory should just pump it out on the ground, and you just lose half of it if you don't build a second. That'd mess with everybody, wouldn't it? I think one pipe should be enough because I'm not going to need a huge amount of sulfuric acid. Factories, you know.
No, I don't think so. And look, if it gets to the point where you need more pipes, it's an easy fix.
Yeah, just drag
Yeah.
another pipe in.
Yeah.
Right, let's see what the... So how many of these are we going to need? There's 5 sulfuric acid. Okay, I'm happy with that. Do we have a factory here? Yes, we do. Actually, better, just for the sake of being sure.
Oh no, I've run out of iron. This is the worst. Not a good time for it. Have you got the extra barrels mod? Is that?
Yeah, float barrel.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be moving water. I'll be bringing water barrels in here, I'd imagine, because there's no water. There's a lake there, but that's too far to pipe it. I'll lose. What do you call it?
Throughput.
Throughput, yeah, of the pipe. I'll lose water pressure. But that I hadn't thought about. This is nope, it's not bought. We can save this just about. A substation, he says. Well, I ripped that up because that was just an idea. Hey, Wilmus.
Hello.
No, I can't put a substation in the middle because it won't be symmetrical.
Hurts the OCD.
Yeah, this is a 3x3 block in the middle, and a substation is 2x2, so it's not going to end well for anybody.
Yep.
Yeah, shorten the war by 6 years and save millions of lives if I just don't build a substation. Right, so I'm going to have a bot build some bots here anyway. To move water barrels around. I wonder if these factories should mutually support. I don't see it hurting.
Sorry?
The top and bottom factories where supply the different water pipes, they now connect to each other so they can support. Is that enough sulfuric acid? I'm not confident. Let's put a couple more on the end.
Would it be worth mirroring it, and that way you take the iron plate off that same belt again, but on the other side of it? I don't know if you could.
I like the concept.
Sorry?
I like the idea. Let's... Yeah, bots, build that for me. Let's see how that looks.
I think you'd have to manually build it because it won't mirror properly.
Well, I line the inserters up. Which puts everything else slightly off, but it's always gonna be off because the inputs for the petroleum and water are gonna be it's gonna be off.
If you manually build it, it'll be nice, and like the oil and water, sorry, the petroleum and water will be off, but the bits down the bottom you should be able to get them right.
Manually build stuff. What am I, early game?
Like a pleb.
It's not a 48-hour world, you know.
Hey, you leave my 49.5 hour work alone.
Ooh.
Alrighty, I shall be right back.
Each one of those outputs 5 sulfuric acid a second and eats something close to 10 water a second.
And I'm back.
Welcome back. Right, so I've got the mirror. Is that
Nice, that looks good.
I don't like this unbarreling thing anymore, that's going. And I want to redo it so that there's, what, 4 water pipes now to feed. And I want to try and do it on a belt based thing so I don't have to have bots here. My brain's hurting.
See, I always get worried when sort of doing T intersections of the pipes there, because for whatever reason, like fluid doesn't seem to flow equally once it hits intersections.
Yeah, I think it prefers straight on, doesn't it?
Yeah, which is really, really frustrating for... Yeah, I don't like the fluid mechanics in this at all.
Well, it's a lot smaller than what I had. just trying to work out if that's enough water. So that's 25 per barrel. 4 factories, each working at 1.25 crafting speed. To empty an oil barrel takes a second. So that is 100 water per second. That should fill that pipe.
Yeah. I believe so.
But then is one pipe enough to feed all 4 pipes? I'm thinking not.
Yeah, probably not.
Because here we're bottlenecked by 1 pipe. I'll go with that. Oh well, power's not going to work. Right, input can be fast. Gonna need some red inserters. Yeah, man. The water thing is an easy thing to change anyway if it needs changing once we've built it.
Yeah.
Given the space that we're working with in the area I'm going to be giving it.
Shouldn't be too difficult.
Right. Blueprint it, just tear it down from the construction site. We'll go and put it in place. Don't even know where it's going yet.
Nice one. I finally made my mark on the mega base.
Well, the Hall of Fame. You made me build 50,000 lights.
Just to tear it down again.
Yeah. I didn't actually rip it down.
Yeah, you just had a save, backup saves.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it never existed. I did some other work. I think
Could-
I had to run off and save an outpost halfway through building it, but when I reverted the save, I knew that that outpost was going to get attacked, so I just went and dealt with it.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. Remember, it wouldn't clear.
Mm-hmm.
I'd done so much testing on it and it worked flawlessly, and then that happened, and then it was just being stubborn. I don't know. I still don't understand why it wasn't clearing. Oh well.
Yeah, because we were like, we've got him. And you were like, I'm testing.
I was trying everything. I like ripped down half the build and rebuilt it and everything. I was just like, why aren't you working?
Was it because the amount of displays I had?
Honestly, my best guess is that when building it, one of the wires hadn't built properly or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a missing wire on the clear signal that was about halfway up the display.
Yeah. Could I have misplaced a blueprint or something? It didn't line up or something? No, it wouldn't have lined
The
up.
only way it could have been you is if you had right-clicked on one entity or something, so it hadn't built.
That's
Otherwise,
possible.
Yeah. I mean, in a build where, including all the lights and everything else, there was like 100,000 entities.
Yeah. The odds of
It's
not
entirely possible.
yeah.
Just
to hit a right click, and if you right click by accident, it's 100,000 entities. The odds of hitting one,
yeah,
must be quite high. In fact, you'd be doing good to click in that build and not hit something, wouldn't you? There's no spare space.
Yeah, hardly any. So I forgive you. Is what I say.
This may end up moving, but for now, this is where it's going to live. Because it is very movable. I think I'll get the battery build done, and again roughly placed in position, and then we'll start putting in railway tracks, but that may be next stream. I do actually feel like break the game at the moment, because you guys were doing one build per episode.
Yep.
And I'm doing exactly the same thing.
Especially when you're going on the scale. Yeah. That was actually really stressful at times. We were like, oh, what are we going to do this time? And we've got to make sure it's good.
Mm-hmm. I actually watched a few of them. What was it I picked? The episode title piqued my interest. Copper wire on belt. I'm like, that'd be for the red circuit build. I know I'm meant to think it's for green circuits, but I'm like, I know you're doing a red circuit build. And I was like, I'm curious to see how you come up with, because I have copper wire problems for my red circuits. And I was like, I wonder how they've solved it. And you did a beacon build, and I'm like, that doesn't help.
Yeah, I think we sort of brute forced that one and just saturated the copper cabling,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know if I liked or not, but that's what we did.
Has there really not been a line of chat for 6 minutes, or has my chat stopped working?
There has been no chat.
Is anyone still awake? Or have we bored you?
Everyone's just asleep
Asleep.
at their desk.
Okay, thanks
There
guys.
they are.
Yeah, just checking on you.
Just checking. It's all the grey.
No, it doesn't like concrete. Oh yeah, lots of more rockets actually. Hopefully there should be another 8 ready to go.
Have you got an ETA on how long you think the challenge will take?
Nope.
Just go until it's done?
Yep.
Nice.
I'm probably gonna have a base shut down soon though, because the iron supplies are dwindling. Actually,
Okay.
I got 4 rockets ready to launch, so I'll send them up. Yeah, there's a massive steel shortage. No, not steel even. There's a something shortage. It's quite annoying as well because this 1,000 is all the bots that are following me.
Sorry, it's the...
Just I've got 2,027 followers, but 1,000 of those are bots.
Ah.
So I've only really got 1,027 followers.
Why are they bots? What? Confused.
Someone thought it would be funny / helpful to pay this company X $20, and they have 1,000 bot accounts that will follow the account that you give them. So I got 1,000 followers in 6 days, which knocked my 1 rocket defense per follower challenge on its head, because all of a sudden my 150 rocket defenses didn't match my 1,150 followers.
Yeah.
Because I was at 150 followers and I jumped in 6 days to 1150. But it's still pretty awesome that there's 1,027 actual followers of me on Factorio.
Yeah.
But then put another way, there's only 30 people here every night,
Yeah.
where the other 970.
Frustrating.
I know there's 7 to 10 people that watch the VODs each day because their free time doesn't match my stream time, but they still want to watch.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, alright, there's a circuit shortage caused by iron plate. We've used the 1 million buffer storage of circuits. In the last 10 hours I've consumed 2.3 million circuits.
Jesus. That's a lot.
And only made
That's a lot.
1.2 million. So yeah, the 1.1, exactly 1.1 million buffer storage has been used. I'm making 10,000 iron plate a minute, but if you look at these belts, you wouldn't think it's 10,000 iron a minute.
Nah.
The belts look pathetic, but it's 10,000 a minute.
Belts are deceptive like that.
Hey Jennifer, what's your production for the last 10 hours?
Let's have a look.
For not to take the mic, it was genuinely to put some perspective.
I've actually done not too bad. I've made 2 million copper cables, 1.5 million iron plate, and 500,000 circuits.
That's actually not bad. You're about 40% of all the numbers there. Except for the copper cable, because I'm at 5 million.
Yeah.
Which is an
For a
average
base that
of...
has no
Yeah.
productivity modules or anything like that. And this early on. I'm
And
happy.
if you look at my graph, the first 2 hours of those 10 are completely flatlined, because the base hasn't been on 10 hours yet.
Yeah.
Since I started this challenge. In 2 game hours, guys, we gotta take a look at this. So that's 723 game hours. We need to look at this graph again, because that'll have been 10 hours of the challenge in game. And also, we'll have a rocket count as well of how many rockets it's launched in 10 hours. I can tell you how many it is now actually, because I can get I pull up the old rocket launch sheet. I still get 2 from an email. 472 is when the challenge started. So 27, 67 rockets launched in 8 hours. But
That's alright.
I have been neglecting outpost duty as well, because we are dead for iron. I know we're down to 4,000 iron a minute. We're fluctuating based on trains now. So this could be higher if instead of building a new base, I just kept this one running. We'd probably be better off. But in the long run, we should catch up. So I get this oil build to take over, stop the old one, then go on a big iron building project. And this train that's just arriving, he's got 6,000 iron, he should have 9. In fact, I can improve their efficiency a little bit by doing that. So I'm going to go Iron East 1, which is top right, Iron East 2 is down the line a bit, then Iron Mini 3 on the way home, then unload, then over to Iron West 1, back to unload, and then back round again. So they're going to do like a figure of 8. It's less journey time. And this copper train just arrived empty.
Never a good sign.
No.
And I've just completely run out of iron. Good timing.
I can't send you any, I'm sorry.
Please.
I'm using it all.
I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. I don't want much.
I'm only making 10,000 a minute. And that's only because a 6,000 ore train just arrived. There's another one arriving with only 700 in him. Oh no,
It's so
it's
sad
okay.
when that happens.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
it's alright, I know what happened, it's fine. Where I ripped up that copper outpost on the way home, I never adjusted the train schedule, so they went from unload to unload. So they just went around the block and came back again.
Uh,
I've got my underground pipe, let's go back and do a battery build. There's 2 other people streaming Factorio and I don't know either of them. Both look early game from the thumbnail pictures.
yeah. Yeah. Looks very early game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's this one guy that streaming last night, and spent his whole stream complaining to chat about life, which I thought was interesting.
As in real life.
Sorry?
As in his real life.
Yeah. Yeah. We've all been there, anti-elites. I remember the early days.
What's that? Sat there talking to yourself.
Yeah. You had one viewer, and you were like, oh, man, when I hit first, I remember when I sort of first started, I would get like 10 viewers, and I'd be like, oh my god, 10 viewers. Yes, he's running exclusively on coal power, so it's still the no solar challenge.
Exclamation mark rules. I'm possibly overbuilding this. I may simplify it in a minute.
On the second time Zuri ever streamed, Hef hosted him. It's one way to do it.
Yeah, he knows Hef from the Minecraft days, so...
Ah, okay.
I think Mad may have even been responsible for Hef on Factorio.
Okay. Does Hef stream Factorio anymore?
I
seen him in a
I
while.
haven't seen him stream anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if he's just changed his schedule or something, and now it doesn't meet my time zone. But hey, Marcus, long time no see, buddy.
Got nervous anti-elites? Yeah. I can't remember who it was. It might have been you, actually, Will. Back ages ago, you hosted me and you had something like 60 viewers, and I just about pooped my pants. I was just like, oh, what do I do? And then I think it might have even been you. You were just like, don't do anything, just keep playing.
Yeah. Oh well, I've what was it once? I got hosted by, forgotten his name now. He was a big streamer that's moved on from Factorio now. He was just passing through, but he had 150 something viewers.
Was he the one that they did an interview with the devs, I think?
No,
And then they hosted you?
no, it was another guy. He was a nice guy actually. I think we sent some people over there from our chat to have a look, see what was going on over there for us and report back. And they'd obviously mentioned me streaming here. And at the end of his stream, he hosted me and came over to have a look. And the host came up 112 viewers or something. My viewer count shot to 112. The first time I've been over 100, first and only time I've been over 100. And I was just like, help! And,
What do we do?
yeah, Brit wasn't on the call. Frozen Waves, thanks for the host. Brit was busy, but I think she was in chat, just on her phone. And she saw it come up, and she said to whoever it was, I think she was with family or something. She was like, "Hang on, I got to get on the call. He's gonna need help." And fair play, she was on, calling me and was like, "I'm here."
Yeah.
Because chat just exploded with questions. And
Yeah, especially some people not seeing a base that big before.
yeah. Well, a lot of them were new to Factorio because this guy doesn't stream Factorio, and they were watching him, and we were like, right, and here's how you really do it.
Yeah.
Right, does anyone have anything against this battery build before I start?
Yeah, it's missing beacons.
Does anyone else have any problems with this battery build?
I'm joking.
The idea is one of these belts will be iron, the other will be copper, doesn't matter which, they're identical. And it outputs one lane of batteries. I'm thinking one lane of batteries should be sufficient.
Well, they have quite a large craft time, so
Yeah, what is 5 seconds? Yeah. I'm thinking to fill a belt is going to be a ridiculous number of chemical plants, and the demand for batteries is not ridiculously high for rockets, or for anything really. Probably my most taxing thing is the accumulators for the satellites.
yeah. You don't even need many of those for each satellite, do you?
100 is it?
Was it 100 per satellite? I can't even remember. I should know that from Break the Game, but
Yes, it is 100. But that's 500 batteries per launch. Which if I have 100...
Markinus says...
Yeah.
Sorry, go
So,
on.
if I have 100 chemical plants, in 5 seconds I'll make enough for a rocket launch. If I had 50, I'll do a rocket launch in 10 seconds worth of batteries, so it's fine. And I know productivity modules slow down. Yeah, man, I know. Rough guesstimates. We'll be fine. Marcus, what is your rocket total?
It says around 800.
I'll have that in 2
Couple of
weeks. 2 weeks. One insert is gonna be fine, isn't it?
From
Inputting
to take the
iron.
battery.
Yeah, it only needs one for Christ. Yeah, that's. No, to put the
batteries on the belt.
no, sorry, to put the copper and iron in. Because it needs one
Well, yeah,
iron,
you're not-
one iron, one copper every.
Yeah, it's 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just reduce the entities a little bit. Okay, do I need to do the arm belt thing, or should I just use a red inserter?
What are you inserting?
Outputting the batteries onto the belt. I've been trying to avoid red inserters because they struggle with blue belts, but this is not going to be a full blue belt.
Hang on. Sorry, I've been sort of focusing on mine a bit. What's the belt that undergrounds near the smart chests?
Either iron or copper input, and the one
and
on
the copper,
yeah, good.
and the other one will be on the outside.
You got it. And then the middle belt that's runs down the middle is the
Question.
output. Yeah.
Why don't you have one of those belts as half-half? Because it's going to be a saturated blue belt. If you do half iron, half copper, the batteries only require one per battery.
You think I can do it on
So
one?
you might be able to. I reckon you could get away with doing it on one.
If it breaks, you will be held responsible. I'm doing it. As I said, I felt I was over-engineering it.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but
Oh yeah, and with productivity modules, it'd be even slower than 5.
yeah.
Okay. So does anyone other than Zenith have any problems with this battery build? I like it.
I like it too. Why? Question: why were you using the smart chest? What were they for?
to skip over the underground belt.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
Rather than
why
you-
had you wired them?
Because if I'm using smart chests, if I'm using a chest and limiting it to one stack, I might as well wire it while I build it in case when I do all the smarts for this whole facility, I want to control or know how many batteries there are, so I can use that as some sort of condition. It's like I'm
So
blueprinting
it's just
it.
like a further down the line.
Yeah, I was like, I've got the box. Let's just put it as part of the blueprint.
Yeah. Ah, cool.
If I can green wire, if I need a green wire condition for batteries, I've got one. Maybe like if there's enough batteries, turn off the flow to batteries or something. Okay, let's take this battery build up to its where I don't even know where it's going. Hey there, Zero Vapor. I just noticed chat's been chatting away to itself, and because it was so quiet, I only looked at it every few minutes instead of every few seconds. I just missed the conversation. I can do one of the chemical plants that goes through 1.2. Does that mean that the battery takes 4 seconds? Yes, it does. But the productivity will slow it down by 20%, so... Sorry, not feeling well, Zero Vapor. Of those who have been following along, my dad came home today. Yay.
Oh, excellent. Good news.
Sick as a pig now, though, because of all the drugs they've been giving him, and his body's now got to deal with them all.
Yeah, drug toxicity is not fun.
They were maxing him out on God knows what, so... Yeah, he's got to clear all that out of his system now.
Yeah.
Plus he's been in hospital and I think he's got a cold or something from someone, so...
Yeah, they reckon that hospitals, well, they don't reckon, they know that hospitals are like one of the most dangerous environments for people to be in terms of infection. Hey, when does the Star Wars movie come out? Is it the 16th? 17th?
There's a Star Wars movie.
Will, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate.
Really?
Not my cup of tea. But I knew that'd get you, because there was a lot of hype in the paper about it today. I didn't read any of it. Are we no longer friends?
I think, yeah. Because, that actually comes out in Australia in about 9.5 hours.
It's okay. You've got a Factorio build. You can go and see it if you want, but you've got to send me the Hall of Fame completed first.
Oh, the Hall of Fame, yeah. It's
I need auto
it's
sorting.
coming. It's coming. It's there's just every time I'm like, yep, no, I know what I'm doing now. I'll do that. I go and I make it, and then I find something that's wrong, or it's not going to work that way, or something else. So, yeah. And then of course because as I said, I just do like all the circuit diagrams and everything on paper, and then sort of implement that through combinators. That can get confusing.
Hey, Sergeant Cookie.
Yeah, I know, right, Zero Vapor?
Die. No, I tend to stay clear of all those sort of films. Science fiction-y, fantasy type stuff.
You need permission to post a link. Sergeant Cookie.
Ooh, we can add Reg him, he's been around enough.
Oh, Kay's just so much quicker than me.
You won't be. Don't even try it. Brit has learned
Just
that the
like-
hard way. You won't.
I'm sitting there, bloody typing it out, and I'm like, "Yep, here we go. Here comes the mod point," and then bang.
If you beat K, it's double mod points, and K is here. So, but yeah, you never stood a chance. You sounded like you were quite far in, though.
Yeah, I got halfway through there.
Welcome back, Kale. Oh, he'd already started. He was already doing it.
Oh no. I've just found copper in my iron train.
You got chocolate in my peanut butter. You got peanut butter on my chocolate. You seen that in Family Guy?
See, I can't do Family Guy. I just can't do it.
You're like Brit, she can't do it either.
I can't do cartoon, sort of, those ones.
Actually, I feel a little bit uncomfortable with this battery build.
What's that?
It doesn't have a splitter in it.
Oh no, I forgot to clear the biters. And they've moved in.
For the kill.
Yep.
Right. I may end up moving most of, or all of these designs around, but for now they are done, they are built.
Yeah, at least then you've got the blueprint of them.
Yeah.
You can adjust them however you want.
Oh, that's gonna mess with people. I'm fixing it, guys, I'm fixing it, calm down.
Oh, thanks, Mad. He's like, I just got back and there's no way you can feed that battery build. You know what? I don't know why we bother with it. We should just we should just start a multiplayer game. Mad can join, just design everything.
Yeah. We'll just cut trees down and kill biters and...
Yeah. We just clear the way, build outposts.
Concrete stuff and... Oh no, wait,
Not
we're not allowed
like
to do
those.
that.
Yeah.
I know what we should do. We'll wall us in a little area where he's building. We're not allowed to touch anything, we just sit in there and just watch.
feed him materials.
Just sit there, craft stuff.
It's like, I'm hungry. Okay, here comes 1,000 circuits.
I'm going back to the base. I like that battery build. Alright then, Mad Zoe. What can't I feed?
Yeah, what have we stuffed up?
Yeah. If he says the iron and copper on a shared belt.
Yeah, you can blame me for that.
Hey, Dr. Deco. Are you not streaming? He was streaming earlier. No, he's not.
He's getting you to do the math.
Please remember, it's 10 to 4 in the morning. I've been up all day. I had like 5 hours of sleep. Right, so what's he asking? For practice. How much sulfuric acid does each battery... Okay, so let's have a look. Each battery takes 2 sulfuric acid. For 5 seconds. I'm just going to do it without productivity modules for now, and I'll take 20% off at the end. But it's 4 seconds because of the 1.25 thing. So it takes 2 every 4 seconds, so that's 1 every 2, so it's 0.5 a second. But it'll be a little bit less than that because of the productivity. I'll be chucking out 5 sulfuric acid per plant every second, minus productivity. I don't see a problem. There's going to be plenty of sulfuric acid, isn't there? Ah, Echo didn't stream today. My bad. I'm thinking the base is switched off because the FPS is climbed to 34. There's no rockets to launch. We're still not getting enough iron. Max is about 100 battery plants. Okay, well that's what I was actually aiming for, I think. Didn't I say 100?
I think so.
Because I said that that would produce a rocket launch in one craft cycle from all of them.
Yeah.
I can actually count them from the map, I think. 2, I get all on one screen. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. I've got 80.
Plus productivity.
And productivity will slow it down. And if that's not enough batteries, I will take this build, sulfuric acid, sulfur, the whole thing, and build it again. And I probably won't, I'm not going to do it with a right angle, I'll probably just have it flow straight in, it'll look much neater. But that positioning is not final. Good.
One thing that I learned from Break the Game
Mm-hmm.
is that it's, especially when you're doing it like this, it's just going to be a case of have to plug it in, have to see what actually happens in the real world, because you can math it as much as you want, but until we turn it on.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much why I'm leaving enough space. I'm pretty much tried to leave enough to build everything I've built again, so I can double
Double it up,
anything.
yeah.
The refineries I could probably triple it up. The plastics I could double. The cracking I could triple. The solid fuel I could double. And there's still all this space up here, so... I think next stream I'll start putting in railway tracks, because I need to start seeing where the trains are going, because they're quite inflexible. A lot of these builds are quite modular and can be just picked up and dropped anywhere. Once they're all in and the tracks are all in for picking up and dropping off, then we start connecting things together and doing all the computery stuff for it.
Yeah.
I won't be using just one electric pump though, because I think as Mad will tell you, if you use a pump it halves the throughput of a pipe. I was thinking of doing a triple pump build, so if that's my pipe and I want to go for a pump to control throughput, I'm going to use inserters to represent pipes because I don't have pumps on me. I was thinking of doing something like that to control the flow. And I'm using 3 instead of 2 because it'll keep it nice and symmetrical and it'll look good. It'll look cool.
That's the most important part.
Yeah. And what you could also be quite clever with it, and if you had 3 pumps you could give them different conditions, so you could stagger them.
Yeah.
You could have just one pump and trickle the pipe through at half speed, and then have the other 2 fire up at another condition to, you know, full throttle.
Yeah. Actually.
I'm pretty much gonna finish in about half an hour.
Yeah, I might actually have to head off now. I
Might
have the
call it
girlfriend's
there.
graduation tonight, so I've got to go get ready for that.
I was gonna redo this low density structure build because it's, when fully supplied, it doesn't work. So I was gonna rebuild it in here and then use that build later.
And the other bit.
Well, it'll still be here in this. The rocket low density structure is still going to be made here,
Okay.
but maybe in this facility, maybe not exactly here, and I'll just pick up the build and move it or make it bigger. But
Yeah.
the concept will be the same, because as Mad is probably shouting at me, it's outputting on the outside, and I'm sure I can do something better if I output in the middle. I've got an idea of how it's going to look. I need to get rid of that shared belt, basically.
Is there going to be splitters?
No, not really.
Actually, yeah, you wouldn't need. Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, unfortunately I have to head off, but thanks for having me.
That's okay. Thanks for joining me. I'm gonna call it a night as well, I think.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching. I'm going into my weekend now. I've got 2 days off, so I should hopefully stream a bit over that. We'll try and get this oil facility finished off. It'll be good. Have a good evening, everybody, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.